Here we have the visitor and museum store. Let's check it out. Hello.
Hello.
This is the gift shop.
The Olana partnership seeks to make connections between the 19th century and our world today. Our annual special exhibitions in the main house and outdoors engage contemporary artists in examining the nexus between aesthetic and environmental thinking, extending the church's legacy of Olana operating as a creative site.
For this tour, you're going to meet just a few minutes prior to.
Here we are, guys. We made it to the historic site, which is nestled on a hill overlooking the majestic Hudson River. The Olana State Historic Site, which stands as a testament to the intersection of art, architecture, and nature. It's the former home of the renowned Hudson River School artist named Frederic Edwin Church. Olana is a visual feast that encapsulates the essence of 19th century authentics and the Hudson Valley's breathtaking landscape. Olana's architectural brilliance is immediately apparent, a blend of Persian and Victorian influences. The mansion exudes an eccentric charm that sets it apart. It was designed by Church himself in collaboration with architect Calvert Vaux. Olana is a testament to the artist's creative vision and his desire to integrate diverse cultural elements into a cohesive whole. The structures, towers, arches, and intricate details create a harmonious dialogue with the surrounding natural beauty. Check this out, guys. Check out the view of the Hudson River. It's absolutely breathtaking. And beyond its architectural splendor, Olana serves as a sanctuary for art enthusiasts. Church, a prominent figure of the Hudson River School, strategically positioned the mansion to capture breathtaking views of the river and the Catskill Mountains. The artist's studio, a treasure trove of inspiration, allows visitors to step into Church's creative realm and witness firsthand the surroundings that fueled his masterpieces. Wowzers, guys. Absolutely breathtaking. This picturesque view. You can't make it up. And it's right there before us. Absolutely beautiful. My eyes and my brain cannot comprehend the beauty before us. It's just dazzling. Just eye-opening. I mean, the grounds surrounding Olana are meticulously landscaped, creating a seamless blend of man-made beauty and natural splendor. Church, inspired by the Persian gardens he encountered during his travels, designed an outdoor space that complements the mansion's architectural richness. Walking through the meticulously maintained gardens and meandering paths around this area, visitors can experience a profound sense of tranquility and connection to the land. And not only that, but Olana State Historic Site serves as an educational haven, inviting visitors to explore the intersection of art, architecture, and environmental stewardship. And guided tours, educational programs, exhibitions, as well as exhibitions, provide context to the church's life and work, enriching the visitor experience and fostering a deeper appreciation for the cultural and natural heritage preserved within the site. Look at the detail on the walls, the mosaics, the windows have that Persian architectural design. It looks like a piece of art, this building. And many thousands of people come to flock to this site just to gaze upon the natural view of the Hudson River, the Catskill Mountains, and the actual building in front of us. So I booked a little tour. We're going to go inside the main level. I believe you can do a tour that goes upstairs as well. And we're going to take a sneak peek inside. So come join me. Just doing a quick walk around the mansion here. You can see many windows that light the interior of the space here, and there's the tower up above us. And check out the view of the Rip Van Winkle Bridge up ahead. Not sure if you can see it from back here, but there's the bridge out in the distance. Don't let the blue skies and the sunny atmosphere fool you. It's a chilly day here. We're right around the corner from saying hello to December, but it's still nice. No snow on the ground, so we'll take it. Hope everyone had a very enjoyable Thanksgiving get together with their family and have a lot to be thankful for. There's a bell up. Not sure if it's been rung in the past couple of years or not. Beautiful rolling hills surrounding this mansion. If you were an artist, you would set up your canvas right here and let your talent do the rest of the work for you. Olana's significance, it extends beyond its artistic as well as architectural merits. It stands as a living testament to the Hudson River School movement, a pivotal era in American art history. The site's preservation and accessibility to the public contribute to the cultural legacy of the region, offering a glimpse into the artistic fervor that characterized the 19th century. This wind is making my eyes water. Chilly wind. So I can't wait to go inside, warm up a bit. Here we have the map of the area, the estate here. Main house at the center, at the top of the hill. You have a lake on the southern end. There's a wagon house. Also the education center toward the entrance. Actually, the opposite side of the entrance, I do believe. And you have the Cosby Cottage close to the lake. They have restrooms, ample parking space, and it's wheelchair accessible. We were standing on this side overlooking the Rip Van Winkle Bridge. Lots of trails around this area where you can just walk the gardens in the summertime when it's nice and warm, or in the fall. Totally up to you.
Reds, and then if you look at the tower, you can see that some of those tiles are a little bit different because they're gilded. So we have rebuilded those tiles as well. So let's move on. The house. He brings us to the corner, okay, which is really kind of unusual. And why do you think he would bring us to the corner? You can get the whole view behind you.
Size of the house.
You see both facades of the house. And what does this do?
Make it bigger.
That's right. It's as simple as that.
What?
It makes it seem bigger than what it is. Okay, because you see the two facades at the same time. Are you an architect?
No.
Because sometimes it takes time for some people to understand that. You take a little bit of time to look at the decorations and all the decorative elements. You see the chain over here with the ring on the cover. Okay, so that is the doorbell.
Wow.
So the coachman would come out of the carriage and pull on the chain.
Yeah.
And what's the next question? Why is it so high, right? Because it was still attached to the bell in the servants' quarters in the back of the house. People were pulling on the chain. So we had to raise it up so you can't reach it. Okay, so we had to do that on purpose. So I'd like you to start to notice all of the stone was quarried from local quarries here in the Hudson River Valley. Shale limestone, sandstone, and bluestone. And I think it's time for us to go in. All right, so you're going to go on the ramp with me.
That did hit your foot, right?
Okay, so you'll see a window above the door. See the window above the door?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
It's Arabic. It says Mahaba, or welcome. So
What does
we
it
welcome
say?
you to Olana.
It says
Come
welcome.
into the vestibule, please, and just wait for me there.
Wow.
So you'll stop right here, and what I want you to do is to look straight ahead.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
That's incredible.
So this way you can get a feel for the construction and the design of the house. It's a completely open plan from east to west, and what you're facing is his painting studio, and the window is framing a view of the Catskills. So you'll be able to come.
I don't want to see.
I don't want. That is his painting studio, the rounded porch that you saw
Yeah.
from the landscape tour.
Oh, so, I mean, is that an actual window that we're looking for?
That is a window thing, yes, that is a window.
Because it looks like a painting.
Well, yes, it's framing a view of the Catskills. That's
Ah,
what it is.
Yeah, out the door, yeah.
Yes, okay. Traveling to the Middle East. After he sells Heart of the Andes, and he has the farm, he buys it. He will take a very lengthy tour with his family of the Middle East and Europe. So they're gone for about 19 months, and when they come back with the inspiration for the design of the house. That's why it looks the way it does. When I talk to architects about this, I say, what do you call this design? And they'll say, I don't know. He called it Persian Occidental, Frederic himself. Okay, and so it's.
Look at the view outside these windows.
Okay, so here you're waiting for some tea, cookies, or something nice like that. And during that time, and I can tell you, the light is really perfect right now for you to see everything in this space. Nearly all of the small paintings above us were done by Frederic Church, the little ones. Okay? All the little ones. This is his reference material. So what he does is he does a small sketch outside, sometimes with a pencil, making careful notations, and he is also using oil paint to create a small painting on paper, which he would then mount on a Academy board. He brings them back to the studio to create a full-blown study. You are looking at Frederic Church's studies. The little ones are the same. When you do that, you're going to block the glare, okay? And you should be able to see the painting very well.
Oh, it's the glare from the
It makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, Johnny, if you put your.
You're going to see a lot of this throughout the house, okay? So take note of it. Questions about what you see?
The Singer Castle in the Finger Lakes area.
Oh.
Never ending.
It is, and then, I mean, you restore something, but then it starts to fall apart and you have to do it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, houses are money pits.
Yeah.
You know it.
So let's now move into the living room.
Is there a castle? I'll go over the
Okay, I'm just
pictures.
gonna ask you not
Oh,
to touch
sorry, I was
anything.
gonna
That's
hold the door.
okay.
Wow. My eyeballs are doing backflips right now. This is
This is pretty
stunning.
That's
Okay.
good.
When I went to Morocco, a very similar setup.
Exactly. So you're welcome to walk around this space.
Okay.
Okay, start looking around. You're more than welcome to walk around. No, that is his sister.
Oh.
Yes, and he did not do portraits. He hired someone to do that. He left us with rose. So this room has the strongest influence from the Middle East. You can see the arches, the perfect balance and symmetry. And I'd like you to take note of the ceiling in this room. Okay, this is the only highly varnished ceiling in the entire house. In the Middle East, this would have been an open to the sky central courtyard. And so what he's trying to do is to replicate the sky by putting the varnish. It's reflecting the light that's coming in the window, and it changes all day long. Now, I noticed you immediately turned to look out at the view. And I had mentioned earlier, think of the windows as picture frames. In this case, the frame would be the arch on the outside, okay, framing a view of the Hudson River. The bend in the river, as it's heading off to the left, is going to Manhattan. That arch is balanced by the one that's on the upper landing.
Incredible view. Can you imagine drinking tea?
No. Nothing.
We'll talk about that later, okay? I'll give you that history later. Amber tinted glass, and the black designs are paper stencil sandwiched between the two panes of glass. So what he's doing here is he's trying to recreate the glow of a Middle Eastern sun in the afternoon. And the black designs would have been inspired by hand-carved sunscreens. So you can see he's not only trying to bring the aesthetics of the objects and the architecture from the Middle East, but also the feel of the Middle East. He missed the light, he said, from the Middle East, even though he loved living in this area. The objects that you see, he would have been shipping back 15 crates from the Middle East. As he's traveling, he's having the crates being built and shipping the stuff back to his studio in Manhattan. He's also buying things in major cities. So in some cases, we don't know if it came from an exotic location with them or if they bought it in New York.
Right.
Because during the aesthetic movement, you see a lot of inspiration from the East moving through Europe and finally coming into America. So designers are being inspired by Chinese design, Japanese design, Indian design, and you see a lot of inspiration from India in the architecture of the home as well, because these arches would have been found in India. The motifs, we feel, are more Indian in inspiration, while under the spandrels, it's more Middle Eastern, okay?
Oh. Oh, yeah.
So this is
That,
called the sitting room. It's actually Isabel's private office
Finding the
space.
view on.
There, the lighting is perfect, people. It's perfect right now for you. So there is a portrait of his wife, Isabel. So we could be in this room for a very long time, but we're going to be focusing on just two major pieces of work. However, nearly all of the paintings in the room were done by Frederic. So I'm talking about all the small ones. The large one here, this was called Afterglow. Now typically, in the 1860s, wealthy Victorian families would close down their houses here and go into New York City for the peak social season. In 1865, the family is in New York City with their son, who is 2, and their daughter, who is 10 months old. Diphtheria is raging through Manhattan, and it takes both of the children. They are consumed by the grief, and they just don't know how they're going to manage, how to figure out a way of moving on with their lives. So they choose an exotic location because they cannot come back to New York. They can't stay in New York. Something is just paralyzing them. So they go to the island of Jamaica. After 5 months, they're coming home, and we'll find this painting coming out of his studio in New York City. It's called Afterglow. And it's the only painting that historians feel really exhibit the man's emotion. So you can see that he has found hope. It's in the light, and it's coming out of the darkness and the ruins. You're probably familiar with this painting, this area.
Very famous.
All right, the Petra in Jordan today.
Oh, yeah.
So he will go there by caravan and be gone for about 5 weeks or so. He's not taking his wife with him because it's not safe for women to be traveling in that part of the world at that time. When he comes back, he picks up his wife from Beirut, and they will now move through Europe, come back to New York, and start construction in 1870. He is very busy generating large masterpieces because he needs to pay for the house. He's raising a family. The family is growing.
Yeah.
This painting was finished in 1874, before the house was. And so what he does is he's got, this is a big painting, okay, it's 5 feet high, and he had a buyer. So everything was ready for it to be sold. His wife fell in love with the painting, so he gave it to her as a gift. He also designed the frame. And so if you look at the other frames, to me they just look like birthday cakes, okay? But this one is really gorgeous. It's stately, it's elegant. So if you look down towards the river, this is the most important view. And you can also see the lake now, and of course the Catskills.
Check out this amazing porch. Imagine waking up to this every morning.
You already told these two gentlemen here. The Rip Van Winkle Bridge was built in 1935 as a Depression-era project. And on the left-hand side of the bridge, on the other side of the river, is where Thomas Cole lived. So you can't see it, it's hidden in the trees. It's a very small home, and that's where Frederic would have been working with Thomas Cole. Okay? So here's where they would be entertaining their friends. Now, Frederic will make a very important decision in 1888. He is suffering from rheumatoid arthritis, and it's very difficult. It's become almost impossible for him to take the train to his studio in New York City. So he will put a new studio on the back of the house, closing the one in New York. This is an addition on the back of the house.
Okay.
Oh, wow. See, here's the insurance thing. So let's go and see what the studio looks like.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Be careful.
Here's this.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
See, that's a scrim. I thought it was a scrim, yeah.
Okay, so you can walk around and get a feel for the space. So Frederic is also spending the last, excuse me, 13 winters of his life in Mexico. Somehow that dry heat was helping to manage the pain and the swelling. So if you look around the space, you're going to see a lot of things from Mexico. Like the sombreros. Okay.
Okay.
That's what he has over here. Also the pottery that's in front of the fireplace. Those two pots would be from Mexico. But I'd like you to also notice the tiles that are from Isfahan, Iran.
Oh, you're on.
So all the furnishings that you see in the space, he also would have been using in his studio in New York. And people often comment, how can you possibly paint and have this kind of furniture? He's cultivating the wealthy, all right? So in the studio in New York, he's entertaining. Lots of food, lots of alcohol, trying to get people to pay more for the paintings and the decorations, okay? If you go like this, it is a dark painting, okay?
Yeah.
And it helps if you use your binoculars to look at it. And it's a chapter out of Pilgrim's Progress, which was a novel popular at the time. Christian on the border of the valley of the shadow of death. So there is a little man in there. Now what I learned recently, first of all, he was 20 years old when he did this thing, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, it really shows you he's got some serious talent. So obviously, the view, this is just the hallway that's connecting the main house to the addition. You have to tell me.
Oh,
So on the left-hand side is Frederic Church at the age of 40. And who do you
Oh,
think
this
is
is
on the right?
there he is.
No.
The paintings.
Yes, he is his father, exactly. So on the right is Joseph Church.
Oh, and that's his dad.
And Joseph is a successful businessman. However, he was horrified when he learned that his son wanted to pursue art. He looked at him and he
It's a
said,
pretty good.
"You'll never make any money." He was
Well,
wrong.
who painted that?
Charles Loring Elliott, someone who was active in New York City.
Ah.
The youngest son, Louis, was already living here, providing elder care for the family, helping his parents to manage the farm. He was single. He will inherit Olana, and he marries immediately after inheriting the property. He and his wife will live here until 1943. Louis dies, leaving the house to the daughter-in-law. Her name was Sally Good. She'll be here until 1964. She dies at the age of 96. The couple had no children. It's her nephew who will be the executor of the estate, and he puts it up for sale. David Huntington, an art historian from Connecticut, knew what was in the house. He had built his career as a professor around the Hudson River School, and he had had access to the house. He will pull together a small group of people, and for 2 years they'll try to raise the selling price, but they don't make it. They turn to the state of New York. New York will kick in the rest that they need. They buy the house, its entire contents, not only the furnishings, but all the paintings in their original frames. The 250 acres above the Hudson River for just over $470,000.
That's it?
When was that?
What?
This was in 1966,
Well, that doesn't seem like very much money at all,
okay?
even for 1966.
Mhm.
With all the paintings
It
and
did
everything?
not, right, but the Hudson River School had fallen out of favor and
Right.
people had forgotten about them. It wasn't until 1979 that a painting done by Frederic Church that had been lost for 100 years was rediscovered in England. And the name of the painting is The Icebergs, which is now owned by the Dallas Museum
That's a
of Art.
beautiful painting.
It was auctioned off for $1.2 million. That catapulted the level of the Hudson River School to where it stands today. So now, of course, this is a treasure. And it took us over 50 years, as I mentioned to you earlier, to get it to this level of restoration. But what makes the restoration possible is when you come to visit us. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for-
Thank you for the tour.
Incredible.
Wow, they
Okay, so let's move on.
all 200